All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Main Street Marketing Machines Fusion webinar. This is Kelly Fidel, and I see we've got a lot of people on the call and a lot of people still joining. So thanks for work time out of your busy day to be on the call. I'm really excited because we have a special guest speaker, and in fact, every week this month, we're going to have taken a new Fusion webinar with a guest speaker on various topics. So something unique that we're doing this month. And this month, I'm really excited to introduce a really great, very successful speaker, Mike Manu. Mike, are you on the line with us?
I'm here, Kelly.
Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, we're going to talk about our agenda. We will go through some of the content. Mike is going to share some very cool inside secrets with us to help you grow your business. And then we will open it up for question and answer at the end. So I'll briefly share the agenda with everybody. Of course, today our guest speaker is Mike Manu. I'll tell you a little bit about him in just his content. We're going to talk about why should you write your own book or your own free report, or how do you get one done for you, or how do you leverage your own content to gain instant ability and get more clients and door opening strategies. So once we go through this. Now this is not about selling you on, get a book. This is not about book strategies only. It's going to be a blend of if you have a book, or you write your own book, or you already have content like a free report, some videos, all that cool stuff, or if you want to blend it for you, how do you leverage all of those different pieces to not only just done for you the instant credibility that you need, but also whether it be speaking engagements, getting more clients, foot in the door, and this will be quite different from a couple of our previous Fusion webinars. So let's go ahead and get started. As you see on this slide, this is a picture of Mike, and there's 3 different sites there, so you can check it out. Mike, here's what I can tell you about Mike Manu. He has over 30 years of sales and marketing experience, and he is genius when it comes to consulting with individuals or huge direct sales companies. He has literally, I know you sit up there, but he has literally done tens of millions of dollars annually in various online and offline markets, and has had over 50,000 sales reps in various countries working with him in his companies. I've had the opportunity not only to work with Mike on a professional on various projects, but also to be, Mike is one of my coaches, meaning I have been coached by Mike. I level with Mike on various sales teams where he has had a coach for my clients, and he's been in the online business since '98, so way back in the DOS years, worked with. And in the past 3 years, he's been working with local coach business owners as a consultant, and he is a big business, high-value consultant to them with huge setup fees. So business will be able to get some information from him on that, or maybe that's a different webinar. He's a business coach, and he's been to the assistant of Jay Abraham for over 20 years. You might, I don't know if I'm supposed to let the cat out of the bag, Mike, but I know that Mike has partnered with Jay on a couple of different occasions. Mike's also a dear friend of mine, and he's a single dad, and I know his son Alex, who is absolutely amazing kid. Yes, he's an inspiring actor and a magician. He's just a really cool kid, and I dig him very much. And, you can check Mike out at upyourvisibility.com, www.lightbulbletter.com, or MikeManu.com. So, Mike, are you over there?
I'm here. I'm picking myself up off the ground after that introduction.
When I grow up, I'm going to be like you.
Yeah. Well, that's what the professor, the traffic professor, Bill Ballou, says. He's always saying, "I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike."
Yeah.
So, and let me jump in here real quick for a second. Those of you on the call that may know me and know me as Mike Manu, Kelly saying it's a little bit different, and it's a funny story. I'll tell real quick that about a month ago, my son Alex came to me and he said, "Dad, I really want to talk to you something serious." And I'm like, "What the heck? What's up now?" And he says, "I want to change our name." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, now because our cousins and your sisters and everything, they say it's Manu, and I like that much better than Manu. So can we change it?" So he's like, "Whatever you want, son." So now I'm trying to change all of my name to Manu, and I catch myself every now and then because if I call and ask for a client or a potential client that knows another name, then they don't know who it is and they won't take my client name. So thanks for changing my name for me there, Kelly.
Okay, no, you got it. I think I almost changed it a little bit again. So Manu, and I'll have to put a little link at the bottom that says pronounced MON-YOU.
Right.
So yeah, very cool. So Mike, we've talked quite a bit about and been in this industry for a very long time together. And so what I want to do is I'm going to flip to the next slide, but so just really almost like a casual fireside chat today. And then again, we'll have the opportunity to open it up for questions. But over to the slide that I'm looking at is, like write your own book, do it yourself. And some of the bullets that I just wanted to open up for everybody on the phone call are, either you have your own book, or we help you do a book, or somebody else helps you do a book, or a free report, whatever that piece of marketing media is. It helps you become a speaker, right? Get a speaking engagement. You could create an authority site, but this creates the opportunity to become an instant authority through writing a book or getting a free report or having it done for you. So, those are the pieces I want to talk about in a second. And then on this slide here, it's leverage instant credibility. So building your business is getting the massive leads, converting more customers faster, charging higher end prices, business, and gain instant credibility as an expert. So let's talk a little bit about that, Mike. You have a book. You have in fact, and you've been able to only use it, but you're coaching several of your high-end clients that pay a lot of money. Share with us a little bit about why is it so important to have a book or something of equal value today versus just perhaps free report. Why the book?
Well, for all the reasons that you just said, it's the instant credibility, the ability to all of a sudden you're the expert. You have a book, you have something with your name in print on it, and by doing that, when you're talking at any type of meeting, an event, in person, a lot of you probably heard the same thing. What's better, the business card or the book? The book builds instant brand recognition. It's instant credibility. And if used correctly, you can use it in your marketing funnel in order to drive traffic to your website, to create more opt-ins, create more leads, and eventually close more sales when you put two ads in place to take advantage of the increased traffic that you now have.
Okay, got it. So if I'm going to write a book, or so you have our book, BuildYourBizBook.com book, and talk a little bit about how does being a published author, again, whether we do it, they have it, a lot of our folks are really talented, they can write their own book, or they have written their own book, and they get it published. What are some ways that they can really build their business and get more leads, charge higher prices?
Well, I can give you an explicit example here, I think, without giving away the farm or my client's
price,
technology or information. I actually have a very high-end client that's been in the direct response marketing space for 14 years now. One of the leaders. Been working and sits in Dan Kennedy's basement for days at a time back in the early 2000s, and has created the technology that's used by a lot of the offline marketers in which to drive leads from offline to online. And what we did with him is he got your book, the first edition, and we immediately put together a system that automated the leads that came into the company and able to generate income on a daily basis without having to do anything. And I'm all about systems and having systems in place so that you can leverage your time. We don't want to trade hours for darn, that's for darn sure. And with this gentleman here, what we did is we created an offer in which the potential clients, the people still online, the people online that were being driven to his website could actually get his book for a phenomenal price. And when they did, what do you think happened? When they got that delivery, and it came in this instance from Amazon, it happened. There was instant credibility in the marketplace for this gentleman. And want me to keep going?
Yeah, please. Because I know the person that you're speaking of, and I would really love, some of the specifics on strategically how you helped him with his book. Really, we'll go there in a second. No.
Okay.
If you can.
Okay. And so what we did is we created this marketing funnel by giving away the book for a nominal cost. And then what we did is we created a webinar for the course. You want me to go into details like that, Patty?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think our folks would love it. If you guys want details, type in the chat window question area. Give me the secret. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
I know I want to know.
Well, what we did is we created, because I'm big into automated webinars, and I'm big into doing something once, and once you do it once, it runs automatically, and it generates on a daily basis for you. And so what we did is we created this webinar system that promoted his local business, and it took them through the process of what was needed in the local business marketing. All the different things with SEO and Google Places and mobile technologies, and all the things that most of your listeners on this phone are very familiar with. We put together a webinar and we recorded it. And when any owner opted in to get the book, bought the book via his site, we automatically put them into a funnel where we delivered a series of free reports. We delivered a system that enables him to do faxing, that enables him to do SMS messaging, just like inside of Synchrony. And it's automated over a series of 3 or 4 days prior to the event, custody being the webinar, so that once they opted in, it was all automated. So as long as he had traffic or leads till they come in, whether it be a direct response, whether it be offline, online, there was people every day that were watching the automated webinar talking about how to market their local business and with an offer at the end for services. So, but the instant credibility part was the book. Because if they had the book and it was delivered, guess what? People are like, oh, this one guy knows his stuff. He's got his own book. It was delivered by Amazon. And let me say one thing, you're like, even if it's not, you don't have your book or a book, or you have a report, you have anything of value that the customer can receive, whatever. That's what's critical to get them into the pipeline. They've got to see something that comes from you. You really don't want something that's been generated or created by somebody else. You want to have your name on it, even if you use, you outsource it, PLR, products, anything like that has to do with in today's marketplace with Facebook or mobile marketing or local marketing or building a list. That's what's the most important thing. But the credibility, they're already pre-sold that you're the expert. So by the time they get to the webinar or the event, they're already 70% sold.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of taking them through. Here's what you need to be doing, and here's how we can help. Because we know, everyone on this call knows it's in the local store. They know the problem these business owners are facing every single day. You don't need to ask them what's their problems. You know what their problem is. So you just need to quantify, hey, we know that here's your problems. Don't you agree? Yes. And here's the solution. If you're looking for more money, more sales, and how do you get that? You need more prospects or leads. You turn it into more customers, and then you want them to be repeat buyers.
Got it. So, gosh, I have like a ton of questions. So I love that you said PLR, like private label rights. I think that is a real quick way to get your own book. That's one of the things that we did. And I do love when you talk about Amazon and when the business owner gets, a lumpy mail. So this particular slide that I'm looking at, Mike, in the business, networking and speaking events, lumpy mail, and the light bulb letter. The book is your new business card. Is give to your prospect or client and video series e-learning opt-in chapter. So when we talk about lumpy mail and even the light bulb letter, I'll ask if you don't mind if touch on that in one moment. Sending a business owner a piece of lumpy mail. So for everybody on the call, lumpy mail is just simply an envelope that has a bump inside, creates curiosity, 100% open rate, and the bump is the book, or whatever the media is. So when I go to Amazon, my book is on Amazon, and it's priced, when you say nominal fee, I mean, I already know we can set the Amazon book price at whatever we want. I think the lowest price is like $4.95. So I send the book from Amazon. Can you share with us what your client priced his book at, or how would they do that? Did he just order the book right from Amazon?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember in this particular details that I don't even
You don't get caught up. I don't know.
Get caught up in them. I still don't remember what he did, but I can tell you this: he basically charged what we would assume would be the price of shipping and handling for the book. So it was probably around $8 for priority mail, which probably covers the cost of the book.
Right.
And so it was a break even. It was basically, hey, it's like anything else. If you can generate a prospect in the funnel and not cost you anything, how many do you want to bring in possible? And it's the cost, that type of credibility. So even if it's not on Amazon, it doesn't matter. Let me say something that I think is kind of marketed, maybe too much or overhyped in the market. I'm going to replace with probably.
And by the way, before you do, Mike, I just want to share with everybody that this is recorded. It will be up in the Fusion member area. It is not a replay or is for anything. This is a very different webinar from a couple of the previous webinars. Just to let you know, we just did a webinar like a month ago on marketing to associate and get clients there. So no, this is a completely unique webinar where Mike is going to teach lumpy mail and from getting clients. So go right ahead.
Okay, well, so all I really want to say is, I personally don't put that much value, and I don't make a big deal out of it when I'm promoting my book or if I'm out speaking or anything. That's in Amazon or any of those places because they don't care my book.
Right.
It's only an ego thing. It's you. The bottom line is you've got a book with your name on it. Okay, they don't care where it came from, where it's sold, or if it's in Barnes and Nobles or whatever. So likewise, they don't care that you're one of 1,000 people that has a book. Same thing with the PLR product. I've used PLR products for years. Why? I'm too lazy. I don't want to write and build a report.
Right.
I want to find somebody else that's done it for me that I can slap my name on it. Because what are the odds if somebody else in my local market or wherever I go to speak or meet a business owner is going to come across the same thing?
Exactly.
It's like thinking that that you're going to come across 10 people selling local marketing in your local area. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
It doesn't happen. So don't put somebody's emphasis to this in the back of your mind about the Amazon and this and that. It doesn't matter to your customer. All they deserve one thing: they want more money in their pocket at the end of the day. Who wants however you get it for them? That's it. And that's go ahead.
No, that's exactly it. And I was thinking about when you were talking about your client and how your client teaches how to market local business, basically. So I want to go back. Your client, the webinar, funnel for reports, they fax or drip over a 3 to 4 day period of time via. So there's a fax, SMS, or an instant customer information. And this, he does this webinar, right? What are some of the things he talks about on his webinar? Can you share?
Actually, we did the webinar together.
Oh, cool.
And we recorded it, and now it runs evergreen. So we covered the basic things all local marketers talk about, and obviously now things have changed since a little bit today since we listed it because the marketing efforts now is moving into mobile and the fake change and things like that. But we touched on the problems that our local business owners are having, and how they're still just trying to figure out this thing called the internet and Facebook and mobile. And some of the challenges that other local business owners had that were clients of my clients, in how we solve those problems and how he could solve the problem for them too. And
so, if I recall, actually, I almost said his name, produced you, and you did quite a bit of the webinar, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I say that. But
interesting, yeah, totally cool. I'm the local marketer, but I'm going to have you as my guest speaker, and you sell all of my prospects and get clients on. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, well, and that's how it worked out. He was very experienced in the direct marketing space, the offline, the Dan Kennedy stuff, big time, big time. And he had just made the move into the local area. So he was still learning. He was still learning about the Google Places and the mobiles and apps and SEO and article marketing and all that stuff. He didn't know any of that stuff. So he had the book, and I came on as the expert in the space. And it was really, yeah, and it went down, but it went down steeper. I mean, as you know, when we were together down at Main Street, with a client of mine that did a project with you guys and Mike, we were doing the day in the middle of the day, and we had 300 people on the call, and which is tremendous. And but again, he was still positioned as the expert. Yet I did the recording with him on the call. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, that is wicked cool.
It's still running today, and it generates leads and it generates sales, I guess on a daily basis or whatever. I didn't do a rev share deal on this one, so I kind of missed that. But anyway, he pays me in the shop as it is.
Yeah, so you did a little pro bono. That's nice. 300 people on a webinar is very cool. So those are people that have had content drip on them. They're interested and eager to hear what's being said, and they showed up. I mean, I'm going to ask another number. I know that you're his coach. Do you have any idea what the conversion rates were on that?
They were significant. They were significant. I don't think I could probably disclose that, but
yeah,
it was somewhere around 10%.
Okay, that's huge. That's much better than the 2% on direct mail. So
yeah, and I'm sorry, I had to sign something here real quick.
Yeah, that's okay. I know you're really busy. I really appreciate taking this time, so that's very good.
I want to say before I forget, one of the things we did, when we brought them into the funnel with the offer for the book, those people that did not opt in to buy the book, we then put them into a different funnel where we offered them a free chapter. So we at least gave them so that it whet their appetite. So once they got the free chapter, they said, "Oh, you know what? This is pretty cool. This is a great book. We need to get this." So we had more people. We had more people that the book afterwards. So we continuing. So you have different funnels, and that's probably one of the that hobble stuff is that you can't market to everyone that comes into the funnel exactly the same way because they all come in at different point, and they all diverse according to how they respond to drip-fed content. And so you have to move them into each funnel after that.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. And I mean, for everyone that's listening on the call, feel free to start to type in your questions because we're going to take them in the order that they're received. What's interesting is that our call today, it's really not about a book. It's about marketing to local businesses. It's about getting information and content to local business owner so that they can consume it on demand when they want to, whether it be, like you say, through Max or through Instant Customer, by reading a book. People find information in different variables all the time. So being able to take your book, which is your content, and leverage it and drive your traffic into providing information to local businesses that they can use, which also creates curiosity and credibility and relationship direct through the webinar so that you're getting more clients. Am I kind of reading that?
Absolutely. And you're right. We're covering a lot more than just using the book on this call.
Yeah, it's multidimensional. So that's really cool. Now, did you guys take the book and chunk it into some video series? Or I know you said an opt-in chapter, which is like they didn't buy, so there's a free chapter. Let me ask you a more difficult question, Mike. What are the next steps? Whether I buy the book or I don't buy the book, I get the free chapter. Then what? Like, how would I follow up with my clients that are in my funnel?
Well, it depends on how they came into the funnel, and that's really the critical thing that I learned from Dan a long time ago, is that you always market to those that come in from online and offline fashion, the ones that have come from online or via the phone or a recorded message or what have you, because that's the way they respond. So it just depends upon your business, your operator. I mean, some that I suggest, they don't mind picking up the phone and calling the person that opted in to buy. You'd be amazed at what you can do when you call somebody and say, hey, this is Mike Monue, and you opted into my list. You got my free report. You got the chapter of my book, and I just wanted to follow up and see if you had any questions and how I could be of support.
That is fantastic, and it opens the door because they're going to remember.
Absolutely.
So you can rewire your content for different niches.
Repurposing.
That was one of our very first questions, is can I rewire the book for different niches? So the answer, of course, is
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And you can get every single one of those chapters. Again, I'm giving you some high-level stuff. You can take those chapters in that book, even if you're brand new, and read them and come up with a series of 7 or 10 bullet points and record yourself a little 5-minute video and create a video series.
Yeah, that's more. No, keep going. That's a great idea.
Take a video series. At the same time, you take the content and break it up into chapters in the book and use it and create your email autoresponder sequence over the next 60 days or 90 days. You got to understand that just because somebody downloads your report, buys your book, don't assume that they're going to read it when they come to it. Right. Don't assume that they're going to read it from start to finish. And don't assume that because they only read it one time, they're going to remember what was in it. I couldn't tell you how many clients, including myself, they read that the same book, the same report that they downloaded, they're going to get that over the next days in a series of emails because they don't remember. We all heard the statistics on how long it takes for you to remember something that you become old when you sit inside of a theater or inside of in school or what have you. You got to hear it so many times before you actually remember what it heard.
Exactly. Now, I've got the questions and answers slide. We'll just, kind of open conversation and keep talking about a lot of cool stuff that you have up and have. Now, someone typed in a question. I'm not sure if it's a question or a comment. It says too many local marketers. So if you type that in, if you want to clarify it to me, please go ahead. But Mike, you have some thought on that? There's too many local marketers?
You didn't hear me laughing?
Yeah, I heard the laugh. Go ahead.
All I have to say to this is that anyone that makes that statement does not understand what is available to them. I was at a conference in Salt Lake City a month or two ago, and I was walking with someone I just met, and he quit his job in San Francisco. He'd been there. He did a good job to get involved with heat marketing and local businesses, and he had no clue what he was getting into. And this guy was pretty smart. And he goes, don't you think that there might be online doing this? And I said, don't you think you should ask it yourself before you quit your full-time job in today's economy? And he kind of looked at me, and I said, but still, look around you. A quarter mile that we walked from our hotel to the convention center, there was 50 or 75 business owners. If you're a local marketer, how many do you need to make a good living in this business? If you had 10 clients paying $1,800 a month, 10, just 10, that means we could have 1 million local marketers, and we still cover all the businesses. Right. So to think that there's too many of them, because there's 3,000 that have joined this program and 1,000 so in this one and 1,500. I don't care if there's 10,000 people. You understand. In this case, it's probably 90-10. 10% of those 10,000 are actually doing something. That's 1,000 people in the local space. There's just so much. There's just so much you can be doing. It doesn't even. that's ludicrous.
Right. So here's one of the things that I love, because I know you've made millions. I'm just going to speak to it. And what I totally dig about you, Mike, is your tough, straight shooter attitude. And I think that's really important because we're not nonprofit organizations. All of the local marketers that are on the phone, because, you know, whether you're new or you've been around, everybody has their struggles in business. And, you know, I think that's great. I mean, there are a lot of options out there. And I thought I really do like that you know, give it straight. And got cool questions coming in. And so I'll just put them out there, and then I'm going to let you kind of get some ground run with them. The first one is, how did you get people in the offer in the first place? SEO, Facebook, mailing list.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you broke up on me.
Yes, no problem. How did you get people to the webinar offer in the first place? So was it SEO, Facebook?
A combination. In this, in my client's case, with the one that we set up for the automated webinar, he had a list, so we immediately went to the list. Okay, I've been in the line since actually probably 95, and anyone that's been online that sells products, because that's really one of my main businesses. I operate several e-commerce sites selling products, and that's real big physical products. We have a warehouse and we ship out of. So first thing, all the money's in the list. So no matter whether you have a small list, a big list, you can generate traffic with that list. If you don't have any, I mean, you can do it from, you know, Craigslist. You can do it from classified ads. You can do it from, you know, Facebook. You can do it from
business networking, like I did a whole webinar on association presentation clients, or, you know, business network. I mean, there's just a lot of ways to start to generate that list.
And here's what I always say to this one client was, because when we did that webinar, we were actually looking for some centers of influence. What clients got, you know, what's a center of influence? On some of the people that opted for the first webinar that we did, had a relationship with other local businesses into the national businesses in a niche-specific market where they were the guru or the go-to for literally 2,000, 3,000 businesses. So I personally say, how many does it take? It just takes one. One person can lead you to hundreds of people.
So I dig this, because center of influence, I mean, to me, immediately what comes to mind is, you know, a CPA, an accountant, and they may have 50, 250, or 1,050 clients. So going to someone like that and saying, listen, you know, this is what I do. You know, I'm a marketing consultant. I'd like to provide a free webinar to your businesses, here as your business owners, teaching them how to increase their business. What CPA wouldn't love that? Your business, here's a copy of my book or my report or whatever you've got. And that CPA can then email their list, and that's leveraging that center of influence. Is that on target? Yay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let me recommend one thing. Don't go to CPAs first. They're one of your friends, because they're one of the toughest ones, because they're very protective of their clients.
Gotcha.
There's other groups that have access that, you know, and a lot of times you're going to have to prove yourself to them as well, which is not that big a deal. There's no better recommendation or referral from one that can say, listen, I worked with him and he's done X, Y, and Z for me. Right.
Got it. Okay, cool. Now, Scott has another really good question. Can we look at a sample of the offer or opt-in? Well, and I know you're not in your office, so I don't even know if you have it. But
yeah, no, I don't have it, and I don't want to know about his website on the one or anybody really. So,
I mean, he's a local marketer.
It's a traditional option. I mean, it's everyone on this call, if you've been involved in following Traffic Geyser or Main Street, it's no different than what's in the back office. I mean, I've been in the back office, used the tools and everything. You just create an offer page that says, hi, if you're like most of the business owners I talk to on a daily basis, you know, you're wondering how to use Facebook. You're wondering what the SMS text message. You're wondering on all these different things. But in reality, all you're looking for mails. And if you're looking for more sales, you come to the right place. Fill out the box next to me. Or send me an email address, and I'll be happy to send you out my free report or whatever you're doing your marketing message to.
Gotcha. Okay, so I've got lots of questions here on the book. So I'm going to give the website. If you want your book done for you, right, through through Main Street Fusion, you can do not put in www. It's http://build-your-biz, so B-I-Z, book.com, build-your-biz-book.com. You can see a copy of the replay there that Mike and I did about a month ago. So that's an option for you. And then there's lots of other options out there too. This is a really great question. Tim, I love this because this would be a question that I would ask. So Tim and some others, Mike, are asking this question. Tell us about the light bulb letter. Imagine that I'm really thick-headed and slow to get this list. So, Mike, you have a killer light bulb letter. Do you have the time to share with them a little bit about what it is?
Sure.
Okay. And some of the success that your clients have had with it.
Sure. And, the light bulb letter came about. It's the strategy has been around. You have to understand that marketing's been around for decades and decades. It's all the same. It's not just the media in which it's distributed in, whether it's the internet, it's just a form of media, or direct mail, or telephone, or TV. And so when I first met Miss Fidel here at an event that she was hosting from the local business market.
Did you just call me Miss Fidel?
Yes, Miss Fidel. Well,
I've never heard you call me that in all these years.
I'm showing you.
That's great.
They asked me. They had no idea who I was in the audience, and I answered a couple questions that were asked, and all of a sudden you can tell well, who the heck are you? So they asked me to be on a hot seat, and there was 3 or 4 other people that had been through the local program, and I hadn't. And the question was kind of, well, what do you recommend to the people here that are brand new to get their first clients, to get them their phone ringing or what have you? Because as you all know, I come from the direct sales network marketing for years and years and years, where they, as an owner and consultant, where they teach you to go to your family, friends, and relatives, very similar to what they do with insurance or real estate or anything else. We work that one market. The problem in this space is that when you try and work your one market, everybody looks at you like, what the heck do you know about SEO or mobile marketing or anything else? And people are afraid to talk or pick up the phone call. Nobody wants to cold call a potential client. I want to talk to those that make a positive action for what I have to offer. So I closed what I call the light bulb letter. Very simply, the light bulb letter gives you the ability to have people call you because they're interested in the services that you're offering. Now, granted, curiosity killed the cat, so you don't tip your hand to those people. So it's a method of which you can mail or market to your surrounding businesses in your area, or actually any area. It doesn't have to be in your local market. If you live in a small market where it's very limited in your reach, so you can market to areas that you feel like, even across the country. Mm-hmm. And it happens as your phone starts to ring. And when your phone starts to ring, it gives you the ability to practice and perfect your presentation on people. And because what's going to happen, and like anything else, you get better and better and better the more you do something. It's repetition. And sure, you may roll it on the first one or two, but that's okay. That's to be expected. It also enables us to build a list of questions that the callers are asking, so that you can build that into your presentation so that they never ask all those questions. Because that's the best way to overcome an objection before it becomes an objection.
Okay, so quick question for you. I'm just going to interject. So, I mean, I know I've done this. I know that there's a couple of questions in the portal right now about, what if you've sent 1,000 gatekeeper letters and you're getting all results? I mean, because it does happen. Horrible. What makes light bulb letters so different that the business owner would pick up the phone and call?
Because it's curiosity, number one, because the light bulb went off. And number two, it's who you're sending those letters to.
So it must be the way the content is written as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I already know I've seen the content.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. And to give you an example, at that first venue that marketing me where I told this story, You know, 90 days later, I found out that one of the attendees there had spent, he's been very successful, was losing it all, lost his custody of his kids, bankrupted his businesses, was sneaking out the back door and going to stay in a rundown motel and eating, I don't know, Nutrient bars and drinking water or something like that the whole 3 days of the event.
You're talking about the event that I did with.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And so then, the only thing that he could do in which to get his phone ring was to mail these light bulb letters out. And he literally would send out 10 or 20 a day because he had nothing else to do, and he was only limited when he didn't have enough money to pay for the post message. I mean, we'd hear this guy tell us, and within 90 days, he was making $30,000 a year.
Yep.
And he ended up becoming a coach in another local marketing company. I didn't know this story till afterwards. And the past year and a half since I first told that story, I can't tell you how many people have come up and said, hey, I got my start from the light bulb letter. I got my start from the light bulb letter. So finally, I was kind of, because I hate to say this, my present company in the car with me, I'm kind of lazy sometimes with creating the content in doing this. I would rather talk on the phone like this and share the times, man. That's what my high-level clients want. And they don't want a bunch of reports and CDs and DVDs and everything else. They just want to be able to patient. I want to call and say, hey, here's my problem. How do I solve it? Mm-hmm. And so with the follow-up letter, it enables you to get some clients under your belt. It's very cost-effective, and put it all together and help you put together systems for your business so that your business will run without you. To get
it. So, I mean, I know in our Fusion portal we have samples of letters that people can also send out to clients. And then, there's a question here about where can we get a sample of the letter. So I just want to clarify for everybody that Mike has, in fact, I'll put my profile back up here so that you can, where is he? There he is. His sites are right there. You can check out MikeMonU.com, upyourvisibility.com, lightbulb.com, and so you can check it out. Also, go inside the Fusion portal, and you can, check out those letters as well. And you guys are welcome. Has this been helpful for everybody on the line? Just hit me back and say yes if you're liking this, and if you have questions for Mike, because I know he's got about 3-4 minutes left. And then he's got to go. Some other.
Can I plug something else to help these guys?
Sure. Yeah, people are saying good stuff. They like it, and thank you, and great content.
Okay. Here, I'm going to give you another site right now that you can go to if you're looking for traffic and you want to learn. And there's all kinds of free information on this site. One of my other sites is the trafficprofessor.com, thetrafficprofessor.com, and that's my partner, Bill Ballou, the preacher, and I. And we created a site to help people get more traffic. And one major interest, the professor on this, Bill's taken 12 unrelated sites to over 1 million visitors each. We're consistently averaging 300,000 visitors a month to our internet portal site across unrelated topics. And if you sign up on that site, you can get all kinds of free information on how to get traffic to your website, because if you can get 1 million visitors, it's real easy to get 1,000 in the local space. And we have a lot of successful clients that follow the instructions in there, and they have more leads than they know how to do with. They can opt in, they can buy your copy of your book or your free report and into your phone.
Yeah, they don't need to buy the light bulb letter. You can either look in the Fusion portal, thetrafficprofessor.com, and have some free stuff. Yeah, so I do know Bill Ballou. He is a great guy. He was interviewed by Google. Google actually came out and did due diligence on him and created almost like a documentary. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, it's a mini documentary. And it's when you opt into the site, it'll immediately take you to the video of him. And I think the other thing that I'm very proud of him, he's been asked and accepted, and he's writing the feature writer for social media mags that are being promoted by OfficeDepot.com that will use 15 million visitors monthly for starting in January.
I was at Blog World with him, and Jay Abraham wanted to interview him as well.
He was interviewed right after Robert Kiyosaki, No, Guy Kawasaki.
Yeah, Guy.
Yeah, and the interview was for Jay Brown's company. Said, "Man, you blew Guy away." This is one of the best interviews I've ever done.
Yeah, thetrafficprofessor.com. So a lot of free content there that our folks don't have to buy anything. Of course, the Fusion portal is cool, and so and I'm glad I'm getting a lot of really great feedback that great stuff. Let's have more of these. So that would be fantastic. I'm going to open it up for another few seconds here. If anybody's got some final questions, be happy to share those with you. The picture of Mike on this slide was actually in the studio with Mike Koenig. I believe that was the day that you were there with you, myself, Mike, Rocket, and another JV partner had all gone to lunch. I think that was the day that Mike and I were filming.
Yes, absolutely. I just cropped Mike out from the picture.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is fantastic. Well, I just want to say thank you, Mike. I know that it's a limited amount of time today to give everybody everything they need. Tim, thank you. He goes, yes, I have nothing but questions, which is a sign of a good webinar, encouraging. So listen, not going to shut down the webinar, you guys. If you've got some questions, type very quickly. I have Mike Monu on the line with me right now, so if you can. Are you good? Fantastic. I'm
good.
Okay, cool.
I'm being chauffeured.
Oh, hey, how about that? So, Tim, type fast. Come on, Don, type fast. I can see them. I have questions. So we'll give it here another second.
Yeah, I got 10 minutes till or 3 minutes till, so
okay.
I budgeted an hour, so that's okay.
Very cool. And it's being recorded, so I'd love to get back again, Mike. We've got lots of different topics. I know that you can have gone and
well, one of the other things that I'll share with the listeners, wait for a couple of comments to come in or questions to come in, is you have to remember the only difference between you and I or Kelly or anybody else that's been in this game a long, long time is the ability to sit across the table and ask the guy for $5,000 or $50,000 and say it with a straight face. And it really is. It all comes from within. It's your self-confidence more than even your knowledge. Because you have to remember, they don't know anything. You know more than they do. Mm-hmm. So just be secure in yourself and be able to say, hey, here's what it's going to cost. That's all.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, so I have a really great question. And, Mark, you make me laugh. I just love it. He says, with all the T's, just a little more about the light bulb letter. Is it lumpy mail? So I know what Mark is saying, and this is not a pitch or an offer for any product.
No.
This is just education. So here's the scoop on light bulb letter, and jump in at any time. Light bulb letter just is a concept. Think about the words. So I'm a business owner. I get a piece of mail. I always cup it up, and the copy is so compelling that it causes such curiosity that I pick up the phone and call you. Does that pretty much sum it up, Mike?
Absolutely. And then you as the...
And then there's scripts that,
that
I would use to call, etc. And is it lumpy mail? Like, could I send it with my book or whatever?
You wouldn't want to.
No?
You wouldn't want to.
So it's not lumpy mail?
Nope. Absolutely not.
It's just a completely separate strategy, getting client strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can't be afraid to talk to people. You got to be willing to talk. You got to get away from being out from behind that computer. But those are the guys who do more money.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
And Mark says thank you. So, very cool.
Yeah, you can't even buy, right now you can't even buy light bulb letters. If you go to the site there's a video of a boyfriend and girlfriend that were really struggling in the local space, and they got light bulb letter when I created the program, and within the first 30 days they closed 2 deals, and they are paying them close to $20,000 or $25,000, I forget what it was, over the next 6 or 7 months. But you can add to the list, but there's no offer. I don't even, it's not even open, so I'm not trying to sell anything.
That was Courtney, I forget his name.
Jane Courtney.
Jane Courtney. Very cool people, young.
Yeah, the JA moved in and was sleeping on somebody's couch.
Yeah.
And now they're very successful. They're making probably $4,000 or $5,000 a month in the local space.
You know, that could be a whole separate niche, because I've had more folks that have been unemployed or homeless or new homeless come to events that I've spoken at or done, or you have as well, and they become an extraordinary success. And that's like a whole separate niche, right?
Yeah, I have to think of something clever.
Well, we'll leave that to you and your team.
Names.
Cool. And Tim, go check it out. No problem if you have any questions. Of course, there's a way to ask questions if you're curious about anything. Again, this is a recorded webinar. It'll be accessed in the Fusion portal. And I'm going to wait one more second here, Mike, and then we're going to wrap it up with any last questions, and it'll be then we'll post it. And I'll let everybody know when it gets posted. So Mike, to close out, I mean, what's on deck for you next, and any final thoughts for our Fusion members?
Well, hold on one second.
And I'll,
I'm going to walk outside.
Are you asking? You're actually on a webinar with us, and you're like going about your life. That is amazing to me.
No, I'm the only thing that I'm doing right now, once I get past the holidays, is creating a very high-level coaching/consulting program based upon the J. Abraham co-teaches in 17 years of track record of working with business owners, from manufacturers to local business owners, and creating a system to increase profits and revenues, and teach consultants how to start earning a percentage of the increased revenue as opposed to just trading, flat fee stuff.
Right. Got it. And any words of wisdom? I'm a local marketer. I'm new or I'm not new, but I just have not had the success I wanted, whether I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 or my first 10,000. Any words of wisdom for me?
Never give up. Remember, so many people quit when they're 3 feet from the gold vein. And you just have to keep plugging up. Well, if you believe it, then it's what we're looking for. And like I said earlier in the call, when someone said too many local marketers, hey, just walk outside, just go to your local corner where you have, there's so much stuff. I mean, I'm working on a project that I forwarded you the stuff with a cool application for Facebook and for building a list. And it's so easy to get businesses into the funnel because they want to learn how to use this technology that's so easy, and there's no one to teach them. So if you're not ready to be charging $5,000 a month for clients, then work with those that it's only going to cost, they're spending $300-400 a month till you get familiar with it, until you get your confidence and credibility up. But do something.
Right.
Do something. You're on this call because you took action. You purchased a Fusion or Coffee Geyser or something. You're a customer. I mean, you just got to keep doing it and find something that you're good at and you like and you're passionate about, and build a business around that. I just call Business Automation Blueprint. Build a business around that, and when that's up and running and built by itself and automated, then find something else if that's what you want to do, and add another segment into your business and it runs back to the first group of business owners. Go and say, listen, I've got another project for you, because guess what? They're going to go, hey, bring it on. We're already building back your money. Bring it on. That's what it's all about.
That is awesome. Well, I am passionately committed to helping members change their lives, not have to outsource their kids, have the life that they want, have their own thing, our methods, help business owners. And I really, Mike, I totally dig working with you. I always have for years. You're one of my top 3, and I appreciate you being on the line and just sharing words of wisdom with the first users. I know you're going to be at our live events, so for those of you that are like, how do I find Mike? I know what he looks like, but look for the dude wearing the Ed Hardy glitter down the caboose and legs in the shirts, and I mean, Mike is just like a fashion icon when it comes to Ed Hardy, and he is a marketing leg, so definitely find him at events. So with that, I want to thank all of our listeners on the call. Thank you, Genius Love. I appreciate it. I'm glad you thought it was a great webinar. They're saying thank Mike too, so Mike, I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it for the time. I know we'll talk really soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the call next week. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.